93% of homebuyers regret the decision they make, but the worst part is their regrets were easily avoidable. So here are the 5 simple mistakes you should never make or you will regret it. Number 1, the dishwasher deal. If you've ever had to replace your dishwasher, then you know it's pretty easy. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass, but it's pretty easy. You go, you pick one out, somebody comes and installs it in your house, and before you know it, you have a new dishwasher, because at the end of the day, as long as it works, all dishwashers are basically the same. And many home buyers will treat the home buying process like it's going to Home Depot to pick out a dishwasher, and it couldn't be further from the truth. So you need to remember the 3 F's, the feel, the fun, and the function. The feel, does it have the right ambiance? Does it feel like home? The fun, does it have the things that you need, like a media room if you love to watch movies? Does it have a good place to congregate if you like to host people? And the function, does it actually have the beds, the baths, the square footage that you need for the good day-to-day living? Now, even if you find the perfect house, you still could fail for one reason if you get one thing wrong. Number 2, the Wy Coyote Effect. If you've ever seen Wy Coyote, he's so focused on chasing the Roadrunner that he runs clean off the cliff. We saw this a lot during COVID, where they were so focused on trying to get into a house that they didn't stop to evaluate whether or not they were actually catching what they were chasing, which was a good home that was going to be comfortably in their budget. Some people focus on the price, some people focus on the percentage or the interest rate, but the one thing I want you to focus on is the payment. What you're paying every month, even if you're paying all cash up front, you still have those monthly expenditures, and you want to make sure that does it fit into your goals. And so that's your principal, interest, taxes, insurance, HOA if there is one, all together. Is it going to meet your goal? Because if it's not, you might just be running off a cliff trying to catch the Roadrunner. Now, even if you get a great deal, it still could be a terrible deal if it is what we call a smoke show. Have you ever gone on a date with somebody who is very attractive, and you get 10 minutes into talking to them and realize that they are batshit crazy? The same thing's true of homes sometimes. We call it the smoke show, where maybe it's an outdated kitchen that's hiding mold under the surface, an HVAC unit that's about to go bust, a roof that looks brand new because they washed it. You can wash a roof, by the way, but it's actually 20 years old and it's got leaks everywhere. That's what we call a property that looks pretty. It seems like a good deal on the surface, but sometimes the house might be batshit crazy. So ask your agent for the property disclosures, crawl through the house, under the house, over the house, get everything inspected, so you make sure you get a house that doesn't just look great, but also is going to be great to own. When you're dating somebody, you know you're not just dating them, you're also dating their entire family. So maybe they got cool parents, maybe they've got crazy parents, maybe their sister is absolutely nuts, or maybe she's awesome. You need to make sure you know the entire situation before you get married in, and then realize that you made a giant mistake. And buying a home is no different. When you buy a house, you're not only buying that piece of property, you're also buying all the things that could go wrong or maybe are not what you're looking for nearby. And so just like the 3 F's earlier, feel, fun, and function are important, but outside the house, not inside the house. So does the feel of the area. Do you feel safe? Do you feel like it is a good area that is constantly getting better? Does it have the function? If you like to go to Marshall's or Home Goods, do you have a Marshall, a Target, a Home Goods nearby that you can go to? And of course, the fun. What do you like to do for fun? I love to go to Costco, free samples, and the food court. What's more to love? But if you want a Costco, for instance, and then you live 2 hours away from the nearest Costco, you're probably gonna be unhappy. So make sure you hit the 3 F's. Now, even if there's not a crazy family and the house is in a great area, there still is one specific thing that could make any good deal into a terrible deal, and that is the Tangled parachute trap. If you're going skydiving and you see your instructor is just shoving a tangled mess of a parachute into a backpack and it's torn and you can tell that it's not really official equipment, would you go skydiving with them? Absolutely not. At least I wouldn't jump out of a plane thousands of feet in the air without knowing for certain that it's somebody who's experienced, who's organized, and who has a consistent process that has helped them be consistently successful and land with their feet safely on the ground many times. And that's one of the worst traps that home buyers fall into that leave them with many regrets, is working with somebody who's inexperienced, who's dishonest, who's greedy. My dad always says 99% of lawyers give the other 1% a bad name as a joke, but that's really true. There's 99% of realtors are disorganized, dishonest, they're greedy, and they don't even know what they're doing. In fact, over 80% of realtors do 3 deals a year or less. So chances are, especially if you're looking for something specific, they haven't even worked with a client like yourself before. They haven't even worked on the type of property that you want to buy. And so you want to make sure you find an agent who has great reviews, they have very good references, and they've worked with people who are trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do before many times, so you can land on the ground with your feet safely when you jump out of that plane. Now, even knowing all this, people still fail for one very important reason, and that's that they never learn how to properly prepare to buy a home before they start scrolling Zillow. So watch this video here to learn the 4 critical steps you must take today, or else you could get scammed out of your down payment, your friends will point and laugh, and your wife might divorce you. Or just watch this video right here.